Hello, hello. Good afternoon, good morning, and good afternoon. Hello, Trudy. Thank you for being here, Amber. Okay, I'm just going to wait a minute or two just to have some more people come in. So I'll give a little bit of a grace period. Good morning, Tony. We got Rose. Let us know where you're from. I am in Canada, Ontario, Toronto. So country is Canada, province Ontario, and in Toronto. We're outside of Chicago. From Vancouver. Hi, Vanessa. From Vancouver. Oh, they're going in so fast. Somebody, let's see, where did that go? So we've got Calgary, Muskoka, Winnipeg. Hi, Chrissy, Wendy, and staff. Hi, Wendy, from Alexander's Aesthetics in Colorado. Awesome. Thank you for being here, guys. Okay, so we've got Calgary, Texas, quite a few people from Calgary, Dallas, Texas, quite a few people from Dallas. Love Dallas. From BC. Good morning, good morning. We got some California. Lucy from Winnipeg. Hi, Lucy. We got Manitoba. Great. We got a good mixture. Denver, Colorado. South Africa. Hi, Michelle. Thank you for coming on, Michelle. Okay, we got lots of people. This is going to be a nice full class. Who do we have? We said, good morning. Happy to be here. We have Tiana with Sugar Me Softly Body Sugaring. Hi, Tiana. Tiana, you're from Alberta. Perfect. This is awesome. Thank you guys for being here. I'll just wait one more minute for people to stroll in. And then I'm also going to do a little quick survey. Let me just do just give me 1 second. Do you guys see on the top? Hi guys, sorry if do you guys see anything on the top of your banner for, what's the word called? For joining in today? I mean, for seeing product. Do you guys see a call to action banner at all? No? Oh man, I don't know what happened. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. If anybody has to catch a coffee or something, go to the kitchen or wherever you are. I did have a nice little banner, so just give me I'm going to try and see if I can fix it, and I'm also going to put up a survey. Okay. We'll do through. Okay. Give me 1 second. If you guys can bear with me for 1 second. I don't know what happened with it. I was all prepared. I was all ready and all prepared, and then it decided to disappear. I was so happy to have that little button up there just to make more of our platform more user-friendly, more things. Hopefully next time I can have even files that you guys can see right away. Expanding with this platform, what more can we do, right? So I was so happy with this call to action button, and it failed me. Okay, I'm going to see if it's going to work now, and you guys can let me know. Can you guys see it now? If you guys can see it now, it's like a green little, oh yeah, I see you guys are clicking. Okay, awesome. Great. That's great. Okay, perfect. Yay, it worked. I'm learning. I'm learning how to do things faster and correct them faster so I don't waste time. Okay, so I'm sorry, we had to change our plans for today. Oh, it's okay. Well, it'll be recorded, so no worries. Thank you for even coming on, letting us know. Thank you, Amber. Okay, perfect. We have that. So now let's run the survey. We'll get started with the survey. And then you guys can complete that. I'll leave that on for like 2 minutes or so. Let me know you guys can see the survey. Thanks, Amber. You guys can start. Can you guys see good morning? Not sure if you can see. I'm online with you. Who are we seeing? Hi, Roseanne. It's a webinar, so we can't see you, but you can see me. As a webinar, it's only me you'll be able to see, and the screen. Can you guys see the screen to start voting? Perfect. Yes, you guys are voting. I see some, it's progressing. Okay, awesome. Take about 2 minutes to do that. That will be greatly appreciated. And then we'll get started. I just want to get a little bit of a background feel of where you guys are at with brow services in general. And then we'll get started with the exciting product, Intense Browns. Okay. So I'll let you guys complete that in peace. I'll be quiet for a minute. Okay, and as I'm just going to come in now. Give me 1 second. Okay, perfect. Let's see where we're at now with the, okay, 73%. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And everybody, I forgot to ask this when we went live, everybody can hear me and see me? Any issues? If you're having any issues with hearing me, check your volume setting. If you can't see me, check your camera setting. If still, oh, thank you guys. If still you're having issues, you might need to exit and come back in, and that usually works, okay? So we're almost done the voting. It's reaching up there. So I'm going to give you guys about another minute, and I'm going to end the voting, and then we're just going to review it together just to see a little bit about where we're all at. Okay. Thanks, Alyssa. Thank you guys. Thanks for responding. Okay. So let's end the voting because it stayed at this. Oh, it's still going. We have a big one today. We have almost 100 attendees, which is really great. So there'll be a lot of questions, I'm sure. Okay, so I'm going to end it now so that we can get into our PowerPoint and a nice live demonstration. So I'm going to, sorry if you're in between it, but I'm going to end it now just to get going. Perfect. So I'm going to share the results and we can see the results, hopefully. There we go. So is this your first time using RefectoCil? We had about 17% that's new, which is great. We have about a 51% which they're using it, right? It's not their first time using RefectoCil, so that's great that we have such a good amount. All the new ones that are in, that it's their first time using RefectoCil, hopefully we can excite you. You know, you can hear some comments from in the chat from users that are already been using RefectoCil. Some have been using it even over 15 years, right? So you'll get to hear that. If you want to share your feedback in the chat of those that are the 51% that have been using RefectoCil, feel free. This is our nice little community to help each other, okay? And we also had 7% that is just starting. So this is great to get you guys in the RefectoCil world and the exciting world of RefectoCil. Okay. Now, is this your first time attending our global webinars? We had 48% said yeah. So welcome new users. We love you guys. Fresh blood. Okay. I have been using it for 18 years now and it's never failed me. Thank you, Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Thank you for coming on. So you see, there we go. We have 18 years of users. So, and that's the great thing about RefectoCil, which we'll go into, is that RefectoCil has been around for so long, since the 1940s. So they're going to be celebrating 100 years. And it's, hey, Michelle, and it's like a product, like she said, that hasn't failed her, right? We don't, RefectoCil doesn't change formulations every so often because it's true to its ingredients right from the get-go, right? So that's a great thing. We had about some who said they attended several, and we had some that are already, it's their first, not their first time, but we have some that have attended several as well, which is great. Thank you for the support. Are you new to brow tinting? So there is about 20% that is. which is exciting, because if you haven't delved into the brow journey, your brow journey, like brow services, you're missing out on earning that extra revenue, and it's really quick services. So Kiara, it is your first time uh, doing brow styling. I'm assuming you're answering to this one, like brow tinting. So it's gonna be exciting, especially also with the intense browns of what you can do for your customers. Okay, and then some people have said they tried a couple of tints, but maybe this can reassure you to get going and advertising a lot more and bringing these services and getting that revenue, especially for the holiday season. People are going to be looking for these services, and both male and female clientele are going to be looking to get ready for these festivities. Okay. And then, have you tried intense browns? Very important question. Yes, 24%. 49% no. So we've got a lot of you new ones here to understand about, intense browns and why you should try. Now, for the 7% that you bought and haven't tried it yet, I hope this will help you to go try it. And you always have our support. And I do have a webinar that I put up that is perfecting your intense browns techniques. So please look at that too, because it can give you more of that confidence to open that box and get going. Okay. So excited to learn it. Thank you, Maura. We're excited for you to learn as well. Complete career change. Was a COO of corporation, now owner of a salon spa. Brows one of our offerings. Oh, who is this? Let's see who. So a complete change. Vanessa. See, and I know a couple people who have done that complete career change, or either they were estheticians and now they want to educate on brow services and lash services. So there's endless opportunities. So welcome to the beauty side, Vanessa. Okay, are you interested in getting certified? Well, so over 70% of you said yes. So we'll talk about that at the end, and how to get a discounted class fee, which your course can cost very little. Okay, and get certified, and also get a CU credit wherever it fits you in the US as well, because you got to do those continuing education. Do you enjoy our RefectoCil education website? Yes. And then we didn't have anybody say no. Phew. I've worked so hard on that website. So thank you guys. But there is a good amount of you guys. Yes, Ashley, it is being recorded. Yes. If I missed any of your questions, because I'm trying to coordinate both, repeat your question again. Okay. It wasn't on purpose. It's just, I'm a one woman show for today. So, but it will get recorded, and it'll be put onto our website as well. But there's a good amount of you that haven't looked at our website yet. I would strongly suggest I've been sitting for the past 2 months refixing our website to make it even more user-friendly. We've had really good feedback on our website, but I'm like, I don't want to stop there. What else can I do to help our SD besties and to help our beauty community and our brow lovers and our lash lovers? So we are completely rephasing it, but it's still live. We're not taking it off. We're not stopping. The website, you still can go on there and grab files and watch videos and so forth, but you'll see updates all the time. Okay. What is the website? We're gonna have a link for it. I'm gonna have one in the slides for you guys, even QR codes for you guys to scan. We love your website and review. Ooh, that went so fast. Sorry. We love Wendy. Yes, we love your website and refer to all. Thank you. I appreciate that. Wendy from Alexander's Aesthetics. They do refer it because it is strictly an educational website, and it helps distributors. It helps you. It helps us to keep the community of RefectoCil strong and guide you through anything you need educational. Okay. And then we also have a calendar on there that shows what our distributors are doing in your area with classes as well, so that you can register. For example, Alexander's Aesthetics is going to be hosting 2 classes in the fall. So if you're in the San Francisco area, please look out at their website when they put on. And this is with many distributors. When you go onto our website under education and educational calendar, you'll see our trainings, our webinars. You'll see distributor classes as well. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Okay. So that was good. This gives me an idea. Who do I have? What do I have in here? Like of interest and what we can do to improve and so forth. So this is great. So let's stop sharing the results and get into our intense browns. So a lot of you who might have, you're welcome, Zagina. Heard my intense brown spiel, and my webinar is going to be a little bit repetitive on that part, but I also am going to talk about what's been happening in New York recently too. So if there's any New York, put your hand up. If there's any New York, put a little hand emoji. because this is going to help you as well. Okay, so let's go share the PowerPoint. Oh, okay. Can you guys see the PowerPoint? Is there anything hindering the PowerPoint that I need to remove? Is the call to action button hindering your PowerPoint? Nope, it's great. It's good. It's good. Okay, good. I don't want anything covering it. Perfect. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys for helping me out. Okay, so we're going to talk about strictly about today. Yes, you see the RefectoCil click here button. Is it interfering with the view? I know a lot of people said no. As long as it's not cutting off your PowerPoint, the PowerPoint, we're good. If it's on the top and it's not cutting, if it is, I can take it off and put it back on. Okay, you see most of it. If you guys want me to remove it, I'll remove it and I can put it on. Okay. Okay, let's see. If there's any word that's cut off, we will take it off. Okay, guys, thank you. I don't want to make you miss any wording. Rose, are you missing am I missing something? Can you see the PowerPoint, Rose? Can you see the 4 lovely women and it says brow intensifying? Perfect. You're good. You're good. Okay, so I'm going to briefly go over, it's a very brief PowerPoint because we want to get to our model, but it's going to discuss the intense browns. It's going to discuss why you should be bringing intense browns into your system, into your, salon or your business. And then I'm going to quickly share my screen if it works. And I'm going to show you the part on the website for those of you that are in New York, that now it's allowed now. It's become, it's been approved that cosmetologists can be using intense browns to tint. In California, exactly. In California, this is the system that you're allowed to use. Now, California was really quick and passed it right away in January 2022. Like they said, as long as you're using an FDA compliant tinting system, which this is, then you're okay to use it. New York gave us hassle. Don't know why. The guidelines should be the same all around. It's the same skin we're touching. It's the same, but once again, these guidelines, the health boards and stuff, it's very confusing how it should be a universal type of guideline, right? But in Chicago, you should be okay as well, Maura, because in the guidelines, when you check your guidelines, if it says that you should be using an FDA compliant tinting system or that it's using an FDA approved ingredient called silver nitrate, you're good with this. Okay. And that's why we're focusing a lot on this intense browns for the fall season for the new year, because maybe some of you guys are in schools and this and that, and it's going to help you to understand that this is a product you can use all across the US. Okay, so let's go now to just a brief little intro about what it entails. So for example, you can create the most intense looks with RefectoCil Intense Brown. So yes, it's called Intense Browns because it's going to give that intense look. Why? Because it's a hybrid tinting. It's staining the skin underneath, but then it's also coloring the hair. So you get that double effect. So it could make the look a little bit more on the intense side, as opposed to oxidative tints. They don't stain the skin, so it's a softer look. Unless you go hardcore with a dark color, it could look a little intense. Will we have access to the power? The PowerPoints are not accessible, but the verbiage is step by step. You'll get those as files afterwards. You get consent forms, you get aftercare files, you get everything you need to get started with RefectoCil, including the recording. You're welcome. Okay. It is, so as we said, it's FDA compliant. So just be mindful with the wording. FDA compliant. The FDA does not approve the systems. Like, it doesn't approve a brand. It only approves the ingredient. So the system Intense Browns is the first legally FDA compliant tinting system that uses an FDA approved color additive, silver nitrate. Okay. And we have a press release, which I'm going to show you that on our website, that could help all the states. And if you get audited, it can help all the states to know where this press release is. You can create fuller looking eyebrows because of that skin staining. Remember, oxidative tints, they don't do that skin staining. Okay. Can we talk about the ingredients? So, Lena, your name. So we have product sheets that which you can download freely on the website. All the ingredients and all the primers, colors, and not the activator. The activator is silver nitrate, but all the ingredients in the primer and the color gel are plant-based. So several plants, all plant-based, vegan, and in the product sheet, it has the list of all those ingredients. So you can download it, have a little book. If your clients ask about a certain ingredient, you can check and see if it's in there, if it's not, but we have those accessible. Is that okay, Lena? So can you do it if someone's on retinol? So the same thing, I would treat this with any type of tinting because of the retinols. You can use it, but if you feel that the skin staining is not being smooth, it could be because of those retinols. Retinols are in our creams, our daily creams as well, right? Our face creams and so forth. So if you're finding that it's not going to be staining it properly, it could be that that cream is affecting it, right? Otherwise, it shouldn't contraindicate. But if there's some customers that do have a little bit of a reaction, it could be once again from the retinol. But you had somebody ask about eczema safe. Is eczema safe? You should be doing patch tests regardless if it's vegan and plant-based, because some people can be allergic just even if you touch them, they get allergic, or if they touch water, they get allergic. So just because it's plant-based, there still could be some people who are allergic or sensitive. So I haven't encountered anybody yet who's been sensitive, and I do these at trade shows. I'm maybe done over 200 brows with intense brows, but there could always be a first. So always patch test all your new customers, right? Any new customer that's getting a new service done, you have to patch test them. And the patch test with the intense browns, when you see this step by step, you're building it up after one gel after the other, right? It's not like the oxidated where you mix the oxidant and the dye and then you put it on the skin patch testing, whether it's in the inner forearm or behind the ear. This one, you have to build up the 3 steps. So we'll go over that when we go into the steps, okay? Now, we say it can last up to 4 to 6 weeks on the hair, just like you do with the oxidative tinting, okay? So it lasts pretty long on the hair. Even though it coats the outer layer of the hair, oxidative tints, it penetrates into the hair structure. But intense browns coats the outer layer. So because of that topical, it could fade faster. Environmental factors could break it down. Oily skin could break it down and so forth. Okay. We're going to go over it, Lena, we're going to go over it when we go to the slides. Okay. So that it keeps it fresh there when you see the products. Okay. The step-by-step products. And then we say about 8 to 10 days on the skin. But when you're talking to your customer, please, we don't want to over exaggerate and oversell it. We want to be honest with them. So we want to tell them, yes, you can get, between a week to a couple of extra days of like maybe between 7 to 8 days. If it's oily skin versus dry skin, it will vary, right? When your skin is dry, it sucks it holds it longer. When your skin is oily, it tends to break down faster because of the oil resting and breaking down the coloring and making it maybe look patchier and lighter. So what I suggest to people is carry blotting sheets with you. I don't know if they still call it blotting sheets or the oil absorbing sheets. I would say somebody produces a lot of oil, they should have that in their purse and wipe away that oil so that they can get a longer wear of their skin staining. Okay, but be honest with them. It varies if the skin is oily versus dry on how long the staining will last. Also, what their home care routine, and we're going to talk about that too with aftercare when I show you something for the aftercare package. Okay, it's dermatologically, ophthalmologically tested. It's easy application. Even those 3 steps, there's no mixing. So say goodbye to like ratios. But and they're not long, the times that are on there. So it's very easy to do. And it gives you that semi-permanent makeup effect for fuller looking brows, and it's vegan. So no testing on animals. Okay. Then we're going to go into the 4 colors. Okay. Right now they only have the 4 colors. Your question might be, well, will they have more colors? So when something is plant-based, like truly plant-based, because we're going to talk about a little bit about henna. When it's truly plant-based, it's very, very, very hard to create a wide tone of colors. Just like the oxidative, we have 8 colors. That's easier because there's more chemicals that you can kind of put in, more ingredients that are not plant-based that you can create the variety of the colors. When it comes to intense brown, it's a little bit harder. So people ask, will there be a lighter one than ash brown? Will there be a darker than black brown for lashes, right? So it's true black. They want to work on that. but it's going to take some time with the formulation. Okay, so let's work with what we got and share with tips and tricks with webinars to help you guys work with the 4 colors. So the first one is your ash brown. The ash brown is going to be good, as you can see with the model, fair skin, blonder hair, right? And that way it can look a little bit lighter, not so aggressive. And also the technique you would want to use on this type of client would be an ombre look. If they have brows and they just need a little bit of staining, you can do the ombre technique instead of the full brow, so it doesn't look so predominant. We're going to go through the techniques as well. Chocolate brown has a very slight warm undertone. So it's not like our chestnut and the oxidative. So it's a slight warm undertone. So if the client's a lot more warm tone, you can see it. But it's not that much darker than the ash brown. It's pretty close with a little bit of warm kind of hue to it. Now, another question people would ask me is, can you mix them? You know, we're artists. You know how we mix the oxidative. We can mix the intense browns, but just know that if you mix it with the next color, the intensity will be darker. So if your client does not want it to be darker, then you shouldn't mix. Okay, you should leave it at the color that you chose, or else it will go a step darker. Okay. Your deep brown. Deep brown is great for those people who have soft facial features, right? And then you can go particularly dark because they have soft facial features. See, for me, I would stop at chocolate brown for me, because if I make my brows much more darker, much more predominant, I could look aggressive. I don't have soft facial features, unfortunately, so it could look aggressive on me. Okay, so just look at your client's face type as well to be able to and skin tone and hair tone and structure to be able to suggest the proper color, okay, and the proper technique. Then you have the black brown. So if you need to give somebody a sharper facial frame, then you could go with the darker one to do that. Okay. And if their hair is pretty dark and their face is not too light, it's good. You can do that, right? You're going to make sure you monitor that. But the black brown is also used on the lashes. So if you have customers, obviously in the US, because it's FDA compliant, you should be tinting the lashes with this as well. But if you have customers that are allergic to the oxidative tints and they really would like to have a tint done because their lashes are blonder, lighter brown, and they wouldn't mind having that effect of darker lashes for the summer so they don't have to wear mascara, you could use the black brown for the lashes. Okay. Now you can see the models, the before and after of the models when you're using the first color, the ash brown. So you can see all these models have the full brow technique. So from the beginning to the end, just like my brows, it's stained, it's colored. Okay, so you can see with the ash brown, it's pretty light, helps to keep it on the lighter side because she has all that blonde. Okay, true, her roots are darker. So if you have a client that from the roots it's blonde, there is a technique that I have on my Instagram. But if you go watch the webinar that I did on perfecting your intense browns technique, you'll see that technique I'm talking about. Basically, we have these beautiful spoolies. Okay, these silicone spoolies. And when you use this specifically, you're able to create a buff powdered look when you're brushing the brows during the activator. You put on the activator and you take the spoolie and you buff. Don't scrub too hard. Buff. And it turns it into a powdered effect. And then that makes it look lighter. So until they can figure out for a lighter brown, that's what I've taught people to do because it's worked for me to keep my clients happy. And even when I'm doing demos at trade shows, I want people to walk out that chair and be like, you know what? I'm confident. Let me buy this system because I know how to help this client all the way to this client. Okay. And then your chocolate brown, so you can see there's not much difference, just a little bit of more of a warmer hue, just like the little highlights, the warmth that she has in her hair. Then you have your deep brown with the model right here. It gave her more definition because when we talk about looking at the face structure, remember when you tint, you create that structure. And we want to look at the total picture. We want to look at her hair, face all together at once when I look at the person. When I look at this model, I look right away at her hair. I don't even look at her beautiful smile because her hair is beautiful, luscious, rich, and her brows get faded out. She has a beautiful brow structure, but they're so faded out. And with the intense browns tinting, she has that full look. How do you get the ombre effect without it activating too quickly? Is there a way? We do. When we go to the technique, I will show you. I will show you that. It's going to be next, the techniques. Okay. Like after the product, it'll be the techniques. Don't worry. I got you covered. And then the last one is the black brown. Now, sure enough, this model, she has a little bit of like maybe an olive skin type. She's more Mediterranean and her hair is black. So the black brown was okay for her and it gave her a nice, like sharper facial feature. Okay, so that's how you utilize the colorings, and you can see the befores and afters. Share these with your customers. They're on our website to download these social assets to show them. You can print them out, you can laminate them, put them on a key ring, anything to show them to make them feel comfortable as opposed to just saying it. They want to see what the effect looks like. And same with the question that Mary has about the techniques. Download those pictures too, put them those on the key ring to guide your customer. We also have brochures which you're going to get in the thank you email that has the 3 looks as well. Okay, let's go to the products so that you know. Remember, it's a 3-step system if you need to do skin staining. It's a 2-step system if you don't need to do skin staining. Okay, so if you, as soon as you have a customer that has a lot of patchiness and a lot of skin, you need to use the primer. The primer is going to prepare the skin for that staining. Okay, so it's very, very important. You have a medium primer to a strong primer. I would suggest, once again, watch that webinar I did about perfecting your techniques on how to utilize both primers on the same client when they have a lot more skin staining and you want to match the depthness of the color to the brows. Because sometimes what happens is that when you stain the skin, the brows still look darker than the skin. So you have that degradation, I guess you can say, and you can correct that by using the stronger primer on the skin. So watch that webinar I did. It was one of my biggest webinars with over 500 people registering, and people had said it gave them confidence on using intense browns. And it's on our web, ready for you guys to go watch. Okay, that's the primer, prepares the skin for staining. If you don't want to use it, you go straight to the color gels. We already talked about the 4 colors, so we don't really need to repeat here. It's just showing you again together in unison the 4 colors. Okay, the final step would be the activator. The webinar is called Perfecting Your Intense Browns Techniques, and it's on our webinar recording tab under education. Our activator is what creates the magic. You know, think confetti. Woohoo! This is where the magic happens. So when you use it to, you're welcome. When you use it to other products, the steps, you don't see anything. That's why brow mapping comes into play with this as well, because you don't see the color gels. Nothing is happening. But as soon as you apply the activator, bam, it starts to get darker and darker and darker. Once again, watch that webinar to see the tips on how to use the activator, how not to like how to avoid contaminating. Because what's happened is that the one brow can be dark, the other brow can be light, because the activator is only on for 1 minute. Okay, so your first step, if you're going to stain skin, is 4 minutes, the primer. Your second step is your color gels, which are 2 minutes, and then your activator is 1 minute. So they're half of each other. Don't condense times, don't extend times. They just work like that. Even after a brow lamination or a lash lift, you keep the same times because it's topical. It does never roughen the cuticle or enter into the hair follicle. So you don't need to change the timings, or else you're not going to have any timings left. 1 minute, it's only 1 minute. What are you going to cut in half? Okay. You can use the gels without primers. Yes, you can. You can make it a 2-step with the color gel and then the primer, as opposed to skin staining. But if somebody comes with a nice brow, no need of staining, go right to the color gel and then to the activator. If somebody needs the staining, then you add the addition of the primer. Okay. If they feel it's too intense, even with the primer, because the primer prepares the skin staining, you can test with that client that needs the skin staining without the primer to see how long will it last for them. If they're okay with it, then you don't have to use the primer. But if they're like, it didn't last long enough for me, then you have to use the primer. So it's talking with your clients and seeing what they like, and then finally achieving what they want and writing it on their contact card, to like their client card, to know this is what you did. Okay. Okay, so this is something I wanted to add to tell you guys. How long will the tint last with the stuff? It all varies, Alana, on the customers. Some can still have the skin staining, depending if they're dry skin, but some might not, and they need the primer. So it all depends, right? Every customer is different. Okay. There's a lot of questions. So is there a benefit to using the intense browns if the staining if the staining, oh my gosh, hold on one second. If you are in the US, you need to be using the system. So in the US, it's the only system that you could use at FDA compliant. If you're not in the US, maybe you're in Canada, you can use it for your customers that are allergic to oxidative tints, because oxidative tints can have PPD in them. Hennas can have PPDs, which we're going to go over it. And also if you need skin staining. So there is, in Canada, you should bring this as an addition to your oxidative tints to help those customers that need an alternative. Okay. I would kind of say if maybe we can hold the questions till the end. There's a lot of good questions, but I just want to go through the PowerPoint and help you guys with the PowerPoint first, so we don't have interruptions, and then I can answer a bunch of questions during the demo. So if you can hold on to them, that would be great. I'll answer the final ones that are here, but if you hold on to your questions, it would kind of help the PowerPoint to flow. Any recommendations for the thread for brow mapping? We don't sell a thread. We just teach with the pencil and connecting the lines. We teach the golden rule of the standard brow lamination. When you start using thread and so forth, that's in advance. So that's becomes a little bit more complicated, right? So I don't really have a suggestion in thread because I don't use a thread. Sorry, can't help you with that. But maybe someone here has a suggestion on the thread. Feel free to throw it on there. Okay. On the hair, yeah, still on the hair, it can last up to four to 6 weeks, depending. Okay. Without the primer used, what is the difference between intense browns and regular tint? Remember, the intense browns is a hybrid tint. It stains the skin and colors the hair. It's also vegan, plant-based. So if people are allergic to the oxidative, they could be using this. Also, it's FDA compliant, which in like states that they will fine you if you're not using this. They will fine you if you're using anything else. So yeah, that's what it helps. Okay. Oh, somebody says dental floss. There you go. It's a staple in our homes already. So, okay. So let's go back to the PowerPoint. Thank you guys for your patience. So why add intense brown? So in addition to oxidative tints, so if this is, we're talking about North America here. So just be mindful of where you are, what you could be using and what you can't be using. But in addition to oxidative tints, intense browns can expand your client base because of the following. It stains the skin for 8 to 10 days. Oxidative tints do not do that. So it's a hybrid. And we mentioned that it depends on their skin type. Okay. And what they do at home with the aftercare. Great for sensitive clients. This is a repetitive what I already said. Great for sensitive clients. So due to the herbal ingredients, intense browns is particularly suitable for those sensitive clients and clients that tend to feel uncomfortable during services with oxidative tint. There's some people who might feel like a little bit tingling sensation and so forth, or with certain medication, skin medication, it could affect it. Okay. You can redesign or remodel your client's brow due to significant amount of hairs they're missing. So there is one social post on our website, I believe, that the model has only brows up to the arch here, beginning, and it stops here. She has no brows on her tail end, and this system can stain it to create that full brow and last hopefully for a week, if depending on what skin type they have. And this is for customers that might not want to do microblading or don't want to do an invasive treatment. So you're able to remodel and give somebody a brow, which with the oxidative, you can't do that. It doesn't skin staining. You might see a little bit of that powder staining on the back of the brow. As soon as they go out, they sweat, they go home, they wipe, it's gone. So that's why the intense browns could be a great alternative. Yep, there's a recording, Rosa. No worries. Why add on? Continuing, it's vegan and plant-based. A lot of organic spas, they really want to carry everything that's vegan and plant-based. So this is great for you guys. As a microblading or PMU artist, you can market the service better. So you can market your own microblading service better if you bring the system in, right? So you can give your clients this non-invasive treatment, but they could also see how microblading looks, because it looks very similar to a microbladed or powdered brow look. So if a client comes to you and is like, I don't know if I should do microblading, I don't know, they do the consultation with you and they're not sure, you can do the intense brown service. They get to go home for a whole week, see if they like this look, because then it fades, and then they can come back to you and say, you know what, let's go with the microblading. You know what, it might be too intense, the microblading. Let's do this. Every 6 weeks, I'll come in and I'll do this. Okay. So now you've kept that client, right? You're a one-stop shop in a sense. So you've kept that client. So just be mindful of that to help you. PMU is permanent makeup. So people who do permanent makeup, tattooing, powder brows, microblading. Yeah. It stands for permanent makeup. No mixing required, so you can say goodbye to your mixing ratios. Okay. Henna versus intense browns. Very important for you guys to know this. So what makes Ogana? Come back in five. We're a little bit over. Yeah. Yeah. My model is waiting for me. What makes intense browns a better alternative to henna? Well, intense browns is safe to use as there is no PPD. Very, very important. PPD is what can create that reaction to people. There's a lot of people who are allergic to that. When they say all natural henna, if the henna takes very quick to process, because henna usually takes longer, okay? It says here, all natural hennas usually take 30 minutes. If you have a henna that takes way less than that, it is not, sadly, all plant-based, which means they've added ingredients such as PPD to make the color activate faster. And PPD is that chemical compound that is used in hair dyes or tints to activate the color and when exposed to the oxidant. Okay, so just be mindful of that, right? Because there are people who are allergic to PPD and can have severe reaction to their skin. That's why a consultation is important as well. And we do have consent forms for intense browns that you can download from the website for free. Okay, henna usually lasts 2 to 3 days. I know I get a lot of people saying henna doesn't last long. It doesn't last long. At least with this, you can get between 8 to 10 or 7 to 8, depending on the oily skin. So that's a good amount. For me, if I can have my skin stained for 7 days and I can wake up in the morning, don't have to worry about filling in my brows, I'm happy even for a week. Even 5 days, I'll be happy. Okay. There are henna brands that do not allow you to brow laminate. And if I learned this through the webinars, through when I did these webinars, you guys were very honest with me and told me, Chrissy, there are hennas out there that we have to call the customer back in 24 hours after. So you do the brow lamination first, and then they come 24 hours after to come and do the treatment. And that's the clients, if they don't have time, why do they want to do that? They want to get it done right away when they're there. So with RefectoCil's Intense Browns, you can do the brow lamination and then follow through with the intense browns. Okay. And henna tends to give brows a very warm tone. And when it fades too, it looks like orangey red. Intense browns will not do that. Okay. They are on the cooler side, but even when they fade, they don't alter the color. So there's your notes to take this and study it and see what you want to do with intense browns. Okay. We're not pushing you to use it, but if you're in the US, it is the service to use. And now you understand why to use it and what makes it different from henna. Okay, here's a technique. So for the person who had the technique question, your full brow technique is the one that you put all 3 steps or all 2 steps, like whether it's the primer, color gel, or activator, you put it from the beginning to the end and you give your client that full brow. So this is specifically for those people that want that full strong effect, or they need that remodeling or redesigning because they're missing quite a few hairs. Okay, and it will make it look intense. So once again, talk with your clients on this. Okay. The second one is your ombre. Your ombre is your most popular service for those who don't want it to look so intense. So the ombre, it's dark. You start from the tail end up until close to the beginning, applying the activator. And then when you get to the beginning of the brow, you do not apply it with the brush end. You take your spoolie, you wet it with the wet area of the activator on the brow here, and then you buff it on the beginning of the brows, slightly get the skin to touch the skin as well, because you want the skin to have some kind of powdered effect. If you don't apply it on the skin, then when you wipe it off, it will look very blocked. Like the brow will start very in. So you still got it, but you don't want to use the brush end because you can make it very bold, like a full brow. So use the spoolie, the silicone spoolie. It's short, the bristles. It doesn't trap the product, and it helps to spread it nicely and create that ombre look. Okay. So, was there a question about PPD? I know you've answered it. Yes. Thank you, Daisy, for answering it. It's phenylene diamine. It's the longer word, but it's a lot in also hair box dyes. A lot of hair companies have, like, when you go to the hairdresser, have gone away with PPD because it can cause even allergic reactions on your head and your skin. So same with our tints. Our oxidative tints do not have it, and same with intense browns doesn't have it. That's what the US doesn't like. So that's why all the tinting brands out there are flagged in a sense, because they don't have the silver nitrate ingredient. Okay, thank you for helping out, Daisy. Okay, so and then the final one is called the filling technique. The filling technique, in this picture, it looks like an ombre brow, but basically you only work on the area that needs to be worked. If I had a customer that had really full brows from the beginning, like so solidly full, and their tail end was missing, it was like faded, it wasn't there, you couldn't see it, I would just focus on the tail end and blend it nicely to match the beginning. So that's a brow filling. You're only spot checking, right? So, and you're only putting the product in that paraphenyldiamine. Thank you. Thank you, Satin. Satin, thank you so much. So the diamine, yeah. Okay, so everybody understands the 3 techniques. I forgot the name. I don't know if it was Tony, but somebody had asked about the ombre technique. Okay, aftercare package, very important. Please keep everything that you're doing with these systems, anything RefectoCil, keep it in the RefectoCil system. When you're prepping, keep it with RefectoCil. When you're doing the aftercare, keep it with RefectoCil, because that is how the results are going to stay true and your client will be happy. Okay, when you start mixing, matching other brands, we don't know if it's going to affect it. We didn't test it in Austria. They didn't test it. So they want to make sure from A to Z, use it. It shows confidence to yourself, to the brand, and it shows to your client you're also confident in using the brand from A to Z. Okay. The styling gel is something that you should be using after every treatment. After every treatment you're done from RefectoCil, you end it with the styling gel. It does not affect it. The Care Balm, though, very rich and oily oil based. So that's something your clients, that's strictly just a retail item to have your client to purchase and use at home to deeply condition their lashes and brows. Maybe their brows or lashes were compromised from a brow lamination or a lash lift and they were fried, they were chemically over processed. They should be using this. It works like magic. It creates this beautiful mask at night when you go to sleep to bring back to vitality with the rich minerals and oils to bring it back to vitality of the hair so that they can come back and do these services again with the proper esthetician that's not going to damage them. Okay. Both these products are retailed at $40. So great way to talk about it when you do a consultation to your customer. I've also done a webinar on how to, sell the retails. So please go on our website and watch that. The holiday seasons are coming soon. Great stocking stuffers. Okay. And the final one is the booster. So if you need customers that really need their brows to grow or their lashes to grow, add more fullness and get length, that's the booster, what it's going to do. Now, the styling gel can be used daily, even after you've done any of the RefectoCil services. For lash lifts, brow laminations, and oxidative tinting, wait 48 hours after to use the other 2 products. But for intense browns, you should not be using anything oily for that first week so that they can have that skin staining. Okay, so any aftercare instructions for intense browns, hold them for 7 days. So if we say don't go to saunas, don't go to hot tubs, don't do all that, it's important if they want the skin staining to last over a week or full week, follow those guidelines past 24 hours. Okay. And then we have some other aftercare items, which are amazing. These eye care pads. Oh my God, they're amazing. They work so great. I carry them every time I fly. I carry them wherever I go, but these are a great way to add value to your services. Maybe make your services deluxe services and add these eye care pads that have hyaluron, vitamin E, aloe vera, help with puffiness, help with fine lines, to elevate your brow and lash services and give them a nice treatment. And then they can buy it. They're pretty expensive, but once they feel what it does and the smoothness and the shine it gives, they'll fall in love and they'll want to buy them. I clean my house, I put them on and I vacuum clean, do everything, and I take them off and I look so fresh. Okay. And the protection cream too. A lot of clients have said that they really love it. In the wintertime, it's great for your hands. It's great as an eye mask treatment. It's great as a massage cream. So you can use it to perform a massage at the end. Great ingredients. Okay. We're going to watch a video. It doesn't show it on here, so I'll have to end the PowerPoint and go to the video, but give me a second. I'm going to show you guys a quick little video so you can see what you can see in advance how the steps work so that when you see my live demo, you're a little bit more well-versed in it. Here are the QR codes. Please follow us on Instagram. What I forgot to say at the beginning is where I'm going to show a contest. So if you want to take a picture of me talking or I'm doing the live webinar, take a picture, save that picture because it's going to help you with the contest. Okay. So here, follow us on social media, keep together in the community, share your work. I love to feature you guys on our Instagrams. So we have the RefectoCil North America and we have the Browista by RefectoCil. Make sure when you scan the QR code, you get really close to the one so it doesn't grab the other one. I noticed that when we were scanning it, it grabbed another one. Our RefectoCil North America and our Facebook group. Join our Facebook group so we can talk there as often as we can in that community. Okay. I'm trying to build it up to get more people so that we can help each other through there and guide each other and build that community. If you have our website, there's our website for the question people had asked. Visit our RefectoCileEducation.com website if you want to get certified. If you would like to get certified, I could only put one call to action up there. But if you would like to get certified and would like to receive a 50% coupon, please email me at education@cbrngroup.com and I can help you with that coupon so that you can go do the certification on intense browns. Okay, and have that nice certificate to show your clients. And that's the online course that you go on to. And then join us for our next webinar. I know it's a little bit cut up there. Maybe what I can do is I can close now or it's up to you guys, but it just says get ready for the fall browse. So on Tuesday, October 15th, I will have another webinar, but this time I'm going to focus on the oxidative tintings and custom coloring and bleaching. Okay, the bleaching is still in. It's still something people do. I see it still in TV shows and stuff like that. So it could be still requested to you by a customer, but also what can you do with the bleaching paste for gray hair? Okay. So this is the contest. Do you want to win this cute little essentials kit? If you want to win this and get into your hands and start playing with it, please do the following. Follow our 2 IG accounts. If you want me to go back to the PowerPoints, I will, to the slides so you can get that. Let me just go over the contest so you know. Follow our 2 IG accounts. Upload in stories or feeds a picture of the webinar and then tag 2 Browistas and comment what you liked about the webinar today. So it's basically kind of like 3 things. So follow first our 2 accounts. After you follow those 2 accounts, you can either put a post or a story of a picture you took and upload it. And then tag us in those because we want to see it. If you don't tag us, I can't see it and I can't put you on our contest roster. I forgot how you say it. And then also find the latest post or any latest post, any of the latest 3 posts or so forth, and comment in there what you liked about the webinar and tag your 2 SC besties or your Browistas. Okay, tag them and then you will be entered into that contest. The more you do all these, like if you post a story or post a feed and then tag and do the comments, you get extra points for winning. Okay, a great kit. It has all 4 colors and so you can play around with, and the primers and the activator. Thank you, Daisy. Sorry, education. Let me go back to the slide. Let me go back to your slide for seeing the QR codes for the 2 RefectoCil Instagram accounts. So you can hit follow right away. You can make your action right away. And then I will go to, I'm starting the demo. I'm getting our model in. And then this will be your education at cbrngroup.com. Okay. So while you guys are getting that down, I'm going to just close the camera so it doesn't make you guys dizzy. Please. Yes, if that's what you're asking, you can get your continuing education. It gives you a point, like 1 CU credit each course. They're not long courses. Let me just sign in with my phone. Let me get our model. Okay, I have my phone ready. Oops, let's mute that. Okay, let's hopefully we don't hear an echo. Okay, let me just get the model. If you guys have to do a quick little pee break while I get our model. Will you come in? Come in the door next time. Come in. Yeah, come in. Sometimes I can't see. Okay. You can close it behind me, and then I'll move these so you have room for your feet. Okay, so you can lay down. I'm gonna put the phone. Yeah, we're gonna do lay down.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to see the skin. Oh, you okay? I wanted to see the skin staining. So just give me a moment to fix the camera so you guys can see the model. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the call to action button off. So if you want to click it right now, and I think it opens up to a screen of a site, save that site so that you could not lose it. So I'm going to close. Is everybody okay that I closed the call to action button? Did you guys have that screen open somewhere else? Perfect, because I want to make the screen bigger for, let's see, let's turn on the camera. It's not going to be on the model at the moment, so just bear with me. Oh, there we go. Let me do this way. Let me just make the screen bigger. Oh, here, I'll put it back to that slide quickly. I don't know if you want to take a screenshot, but it's great to also take a picture of what's going on if you want to take a picture during the demo and so forth. But these are the 3 things you should do. Okay, and I'm going to now move it to the camera. Okay, I'm going to close the PowerPoint. So I won't have time to show you the other video. Let's just get right to straight to the model, because the other video is very brief, but these videos are great for you to download and have them in your shop to show your customers. They're quick little cute video tutorials. So let's go to now. What happened to my, oh no. Give me 1 second, it's not showing presentation. Okay, something happened now and I'm missing a button. Sorry guys, to show it on the big screen. Why did it decide to leave? I did close the call to action. Oh man, guys, I'm gonna panic a little bit. Sorry, one of my buttons is gone. Oh no, panic is gone. Whew. Okay, guys. For a free or discounted kit. No, it's for a free kit. Free kit. Free mini essentials kit. Sorry, guys. I had a little panic moment. Okay. Yeah, so it's a great kit. It's like $180 or $90 value. So if you want to take advantage of that, please do. Contests are fun to get free products. Just give me a moment to position it first, and then you guys can let me know if the position is okay. Hold with your hands like this, okay, already like this, just so it doesn't fall on me if it slips out. Okay, let's see now. Do you guys feel that's okay? I'll shift it a little bit here. Come a little bit more higher, just a little bit, just a little, yeah. I'll bring this over. It's just that it's going on that side, so let me hold. Now we totally lost her. Shift your head there. Yeah. Don't stare too much on the screen. Sorry. Give me 1 second. Don't know why it doesn't want to stay straight. Shift your head a little bit more again there. Okay, is that okay so far? Like, can you guys see the brows okay? Is this good? I know there's a lot of forehead space. Like it's just focusing a lot on that. So let me see if I do this. Wait, this way. Alana, can you tell me when it looks, can you see in the phone if it looks straight?
No.
Oh, you can't see anything?
No, I can
Oh,
see
okay.
it's so straight. Yeah, it's good now.
Yeah?
Good brows.
Better? Perfect. Okay. I said one of these days I will get the camera straight, but sometimes these hand devices that hold your camera are wobbly. Okay. With intense browns, you will notice with the new steps, for those of you that are aware of intense browns, we used to use saline solution. Now you don't no longer use, and you'll see that in the webinar. Crystal, what do you mean? Do you see the model? Okay, if you can see the model, you're good. You don't see the model? Maybe exit and come back in again because everybody else can see the model? Yeah, Crystal, you might have to exit or maybe see something with your camera set, like your actual computer settings, or maybe your screen is minimized for the camera view. That's the biggest that it goes, unfortunately, because it's on a phone. Yeah, that's the biggest that it can go. Oh, what did I just do? I can see if I could, no, I can't close. Yeah. Can you still see it though? Like, is it really small or is it okay? I think on your computer, you can expand the screen a little bit more on your end. So the saline solution, no more longer, because every other service for RefectoCil, you're going to use a saline solution. But for this intense brown service, you're not going to, because the salts in the saline solution affect with the silver nitrate and you could have patchiness. So only for this, you can. Oh, Crystal, good. So it's a quick little exit and come back in. Yes. Okay, so you don't have to use it. Okay, so you don't have to use it for this, but for lash lifts, lash curls, intense browns, you have, I mean, not intense browns, oxidative tints, you have to use this, the saline solution. But what I'm doing right now is I'm prepping her skin and cleaning. Even though she came without any makeup, I still got to do it. Is our RefectoCil micellar. Let me see if I can get that. Oh, it has to be this way. Oh man, this is difficult now. Okay, the RefectoCil micellar. You know why? Because I have the camera upside down. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so my RefectoCil micellar is because I have the camera upside down. Okay. So, her skin. She's got a combination. You get oily on your forehead and your nose, like your T-zone. So she gets oily here. So what we suggest is for, oh, did the phone just move? What we suggest is that you also exfoliate with the intense browns. So use any facial exfoliant that you have that's great and mild for the face and take, or if not, you can use our brow shampoo. Where's my camera? Upwards this way. Yeah, use our Lash and Brow Foam Shampoo as an exfoliation. So what you would do, I'll show you quickly. We would say, as long as it's micellar and it's non-oily, but RefectoCil has some properties in their micellar that help even better. So I would say keep it in the system. So you have the mousse. Maybe I should flip the camera around. You know what? I'm going to try and do something, guys. Don't get dizzy. I'm going to try and put the camera this way so I can show the product, not upside down. Can you hit the camera there? Oh, it's not working?
No. Okay.
Oh, there we go. I'm going to do it this way so it's not upside down. I know sometimes I like the other view, but my products are all upside down. And this way I can slip my hand easily. And you can see the mousse. Oh, there we go. See the mousse? So I did the lash and foam on my glove. I'm going to take my spoolie, my silicone spoolie, and I'm going to take some of that mousse. And because the silicone spoolie also can act like the bristles can help to exfoliate, you can exfoliate. So if you don't have an exfoliant, use the mousse, and the mousse technology will lift up any of that dry skin, but also help prep that oil in the skin to take it away. Okay? Now, if you have an exfoliant, do this step as well with your exfoliant. Okay? Now, because we have this on here, after what we're going to do is I'm going to take a clean cotton round first, remove the mousse just with a clean cotton round, and then I'm just going to run it again with the makeup remover, just to make sure there's no traces of anything left on there. Okay, so I'm going to take my makeup remover again, clean it. You don't need to use saline solution for intense brown system. No, because the salts affect the silver nitrate, and that's why people are getting a little bit of patchiness. Okay, so I'm doing the makeup remover. Make sure there's no, and do this even after you do the exfoliation, because exfoliation has little small microspheres and they can be in the way. So make sure you follow through with that. Now, because we've done so much cleansing, like prep, if the client's brows are still pretty damp and the skin area is damp, take your fan. Take a fan, right? Any fan that has, let me see if I can show you the fan. See? And get a brand new spoolie that's not been soiled, and take your fan over the brows and just dry them. Because if the area is wet, it's going to affect your results with patchiness. Okay? Perfect. Okay, so we did that. Everybody good so far? Because we did the prep. Now that we're done the prep, what do you feel is the next thing after we prep? What do you think we have to do, because this is a staining system? Yeah, thank you, Trudy. Yeah. So I'll show you quickly how we do the brow mapping. Basically, I'm just going to do, like, she has pretty good brows there that we can see. Yeah, thank you guys. So we're going to do the golden rule way. So on the bridge of her nose here, straight like that. Don't do it at the corner, because look how much inside you'll go. Always take that little dent in the bridge of the nose. So that's where the brow should start. Her brows are good. They start where they should. There's my first line. Same with this. There's my other side. Okay, then open up your eyes, look straight. We're going to take the corner of the iris from that dent in the nose right there, that point, that dip in there, to the corner of the iris. As they're looking straight, that would be the arch there. Then from the corner of the nose, now you go to the corner of the nose and the corner of the eye. Flush it straight across, and that's where the brow should be. And so you can have a pencil. You can use your brush. You can, if you need to, you can use your spoolie to do that guideline and then color it right away. Or if you have a little ruler, or some people, what they do is they use it like this to connect it. Anything to make you easier your job, your task. Oh, can we see the connecting? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start connecting this brow. Now, because we don't want, like, I know how our model Agana wears her brows. I'm not going to extend the brow mapping too high to give her more skin staining, because it's not the look that she wants. So I'm going to keep the brow mapping flush really close to her actual natural brows. Maybe I'll give her a little bit of skin staining down here. So I'll go a little bit down. And then close the ends. So this is the simple brow mapping that we teach. Good so far? Okay, so now we're going to do the other side as well. Turn this way, and we're going to do the other points. So look straight as straight as you can. And you can also, oh, that's moving like that. And then you could also match it before you do anything. Make sure you match it with the other side. Okay. And this is where you can help give brows their symmetrical look, because now if somebody came with you and, maybe they went through treatments like chemo or something like that, and their brows are totally gone, the brow mapping where you use the string method, like the dental floss or whatever string method, you would have to do that, because you have to use calipers and rulers, because you have to make it as symmetrical as you can, because they don't have any brows to work with, right? But when somebody has a brow structure to work with, it's okay to do it this way. You don't need the whole string mapping, because for some people that intimidates them. Where can I buy the silicone spoolies? I'm looking online, but I don't see a buy button. Oh, because we don't have all the products on there. This is just the kits. So it's where you can see the products of the kits to be able to purchase Intense Browns. Inside the Deluxe Intense Browns, the big kit, and the Business of Brows kit, the spoolies are in there. Otherwise, you would have to reach to your nearest distributor to purchase those spoolies. And you can see on our website what distributors are carrying the Intense Browns. We have a section on the website called Intense Browns and where to buy. Okay. Right now I'm just making sure the structure of the brows are the same. So now if we put her a little bit straight, her face, can you guys see just a little bit there? Yeah. Can you guys see that now the brows are nice and brow mapped? Okay. I had to work during the first part. It's recorded. It's recorded. No worries. This one I might go a little bit higher because it goes a little bit lower this side. I'm trying to match them as much as I can, right? Okay, so let me see if I can do one more thing with the phone. Sorry, guys, bear with me. I'm going to bring it a little bit higher so you can see both brows. Can you help me just push it towards where you feel it straight towards your face? Okay, and let me see if I can tighten it. I don't know why it doesn't want to stay there, but let me see if I can bring it a little bit higher. So hold it and move with me higher. I just want them to be able to see both brows. Mm-hmm. Is it still centered?
Oh, wow.
Oh no.
It's not
okay. Sorry, guys. I really want you to see it. Both brows. I don't probably hold it, but then it'll be in the way. You know what? Hold it for me.
Yeah, it's better.
I have to lock it. Hold on. Okay. You guys, does that feel better? I really want you guys to see the full brows. Is that better? I want you to see both brows. Okay, good. I want you to see the symmetry. Okay, awesome. Thank you, guys. There was a question above. I'm sorry, I'm sure you mentioned this. Please let me know which website you're referring to when you say it's on the website. Oh, RefectoCilEducation.com. Let me type it in. RefectoCilEducation.com. There we go. Okay, so now that we have this done, we did the brow mapping, we're all good. What do you think we need to do with our Ghana? Now, I want to show you guys everything today. So what would be the step that now we do? Primer, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to do once again, because I don't want to, this is Ogana's first time. Ogana, it's your first time getting Intense Browns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to stunt her with it. So I'm going to do the medium primer, okay? Oh, now I can show you guys the product nicely. Aha, we've mastered it, okay? There you go. We're going to do the medium primer, okay? If I do the strong primer on somebody who doesn't really want it so strong, I am going to kind of scare them with the look. So we're going to keep it at the medium primer. And I suggest start first with the medium primer when you're practicing to get comfortable, and then start working with the other colors and the strong primer. You want to be comfortable with all of it, okay? So I'm going to grab my little bowl. And I'm going, it's so much easier to show the product now. And I'm going to squeeze a little bit of my primer inside. Now her hair is all prepped and ready. If you haven't used your bottle for a while, what I suggest is squeeze a little bit of the first portion out of the gel. And then I'll show you what it looks like. It is a nice clear gel like this, okay? Now, with the primer, in order to prepare the skin properly, yeah, it's a primer skip. Yep, exactly. You got it. Now, if with the primer part, in order to have a proper skin staining, be very generous with it. Okay. So, and I'll show you some techniques. So I'm going to wet the area, get it all in there. As you can see, you don't see anything, right? You just see a clear gel, and I'm working within. Now, Austria also teaches that if you want to brow map at the end, you can do that. But I always say, like with her, I could have brow mapped at the end at the final stage. But I want to show you guys completely from the beginning. And then as you become comfortable, you can start, getting easier and easier techniques for you. But because the brow mapping can fade towards the first two steps, you have to reattach it. But I always say if there's a customer who has really no brows or missing a lot of gaps, you got to brow map from the beginning so you can keep those gels appropriately in the place and the right skin staining. Okay, so you see how I placed it in there and I was really generous? You got to see it wet. There's many times I've done classes where I come by to see the student and the brow is so dry. And I'm like, oh, you're done? The 4 minutes is up. They're like, nope, we still have 2 minutes. I'm like, ooh. You cannot let it dry that quick because maybe your room was hot. Maybe the client had dry skin, so it sucks it in. You got to see it wet all the time. You see how I'm using the spoolie? I'm pressing very gently and I'm spreading that gel nicely. And in my spoolie, it does not get trapped. If you were to use a disposable mascara wand, like these ones, the bristles are hard, they're longer, and they trap the product in, so you have wastage. So that's why these spoolies are amazing. Okay, so we did that brow. Okay, the 4 minutes has started. Now we're going to do the other side. Once again, be very generous with it. If you have to squeeze out a little bit more, obviously your gel varies to the density of your client's brows, right? So if they have thicker brows, a lot more brows density, and they're very thick, or they're male brows, you got to use a little bit more gel, but make sure it looks wet. That's why I'm pretty generous with it. And then I take my spoolie and I don't rub too hard. I just spread it through nicely. Okay. And then I check some other areas that look like they weren't wet enough. Okay. And that's going to stay on once again for the 4 minutes. So in 2 minutes, we'll be able to remove the other side. Now, once again, don't brush too hard because you don't want to remove that product from there. It might be hard to see it in the screen, but when I'm looking at her brows are wet. I can see that they're wet. It's kind of hard for you guys maybe to see that, but always be mindful of that, because when I do the trainings and I tell them, okay, you know what? Leave it dry like that. I say to them, let's see what the results will be. I told them, I know what the results will be like. You're going to have some patchy issues. But I said, let's learn from this. So I let them complete it. And sure enough, they have patchy. So now I teach them, how can you correct this? So you can correct the patchy by going back and repeating step 2 and 3, just as long as you were generous with the primer, if you had used the primer. So you can go back and correct it in under 3 minutes or in 3 minutes and get the staining right again. Okay. Do you use stick, spoolie, and cup with gel? No. I apply first with the brush end. So you see I have some product. Oh my goodness, sorry. I have some product in my gel on there. I apply it onto the brow, and then I take the spoolie and I spread it through. Okay, simple as that. Yeah. Can you use too much primer? Well, you don't want to overdo it, because then you have wastage of product. You can do about 15 to 20 applications from one gel. So if you want to be mindful of your profitability and not waste product, always squeeze out less and add as you go if you need a little bit more. If you squeeze out way too much at the beginning, you have to throw it away after. So you don't want to waste product. You want to make your profitability and not throw money in the garbage. Okay. Now this comes off in 1 minute, but I'm just trying to see if there's any areas that are a little bit drier. Our room is a little hot a little bit in here, so I'm taking into consideration that. Now that in 1 minute when I have to remove it, I'm going to remove it with a dry Q-tip. Do not introduce any waters. Any waters will interfere with the process. Okay? Are we up to date? 4 minutes each brow. Yes, it is 4 minutes each brow. Do you start the 4 minutes once you start applying the product? A lot of people, they carry 2 timers and they start right. I have learned after 10 years doing this, doing in general these services, I have a internal clock. So I don't use anything. I just know when this should come off and then when my next brow should come off. Usually it's 30 seconds after the first one. But a lot of people use 2 timers in any of the services when they're doing lash lifts or so forth. So whatever makes you feel comfortable. But as soon as that product's on there, your timing should generally start. Especially with products that are chemical, like your lash lifts and your brow laminations, start the timing right away when you finish applying the first eye or the first brow, because that's chemically processing. Okay. Let me know if I answered all your questions, and please repeat if I miss anything. So dry Q-tip. Until you start seeing, on the brow, the gel is not wet anymore, and on your Q-tip, it's not orangey, like it's a little like orangey yellow, the gel. Also, what you can do when you're applying the gel, if they have very dense brows, go against with the brush and get the gel underneath those hairs if you want to have a proper staining as well. Okay, so the other side's going to stay on for another 30 seconds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dry this brow. I'm going to get my dry spoolie, my clean spoolie, my fan, and I'm going to dry this brow. You have to dry in between each steps. If you don't, that can interfere with the staining. Okay. So you can see where you'll have to remap again, but at least it helps you keep the gels within the brow mapping. Okay, this is important. If you don't have a fan, they suggest 4 minutes. If you have a fan, literally 45 seconds, 40 to a minute, it's dry, depending on how thick their brows are. Okay, I'm going to prepare another Q-tip. Dry Q-tip to do the other side. Just another 20 more seconds. Everybody's good? Good so far? Straight to the point. See, that was easy. Prep was easy. Brow mapping was easy. Well, I'm saying it's easy because you can see, like I did this simple brow mapping, right? And putting the gel, pretty easy, right? So far we are good. Now, this is a service that you're doing in the salon. It should take you about a half an hour if you're including as well a brow shaping. If you're doing brow lamination, add about 45 minutes to it. But I would make it 45 minutes long, the whole treatment with brow lamination intense browns. But what I tell people is at the beginning, book an hour, because you don't know that customer, how they're going to react to it if it's their first time doing the intense browns. So you want to have that extra room to do any corrections if you have to. And then once you get comfortable with that customer, you can cut it down to 45 minutes. Okay, good with the timing, guys? Everybody's good? Now, another question which I haven't heard anybody ask, which I'll tell you guys, is how much do you charge for this service? Am I missing people's questions? I don't think I've seen any questions so far. I think Jasmine's was the last one, if I'm correct. Okay, so how much do you charge for these services? Now, because it's not as quick as the oxidative tint, you have to charge more. So usually for oxidative tints for brow tinting, we say, about 30 bucks. I mean, not 30 bucks, 15 to 20 bucks, 25 tops. With this, because you're brow mapping, because you're redesigning a brow, you're doing a lot more. You're being an artist. You're spending more time with your customer to make sure the shape and everything is good. You should charge between $40 to $60, depending on your demographics. Okay, take a look at your market, take a look what's around you, and then you'll be able to better price it. But you should charge more because it is more of your time. Now, if it's brow lamination, intense browns, and then it includes the shaping, you can charge between $125 to $150. Okay, once again, take into consideration your market, your area, where you're located, in order not to lose customers either if you're going way too high. Okay, I think there's a question. Give me 1 second. Let me just dry the brow. Okay, I'm going to get a second bowl ready. A second clean bowl. Don't intermix. Another clean brush to do step number 2, which is the color gel. I'm going to do an Argana, the chocolate brown. There's no need to do the ash brown. I'm going to do the chocolate brown. So that's the color I'm going to choose. Okay. Essentially, if she wanted a little bit darker, I could do the deep brown, but we're going to do the chocolate brown for now. The questions was, do you start at 4 minutes once? Yep, we answered that. What is the difference with the primer, etc.? Last long. It helps to prepare the skin for staining and help the skin staining to last longer. Correct. What would you charge for lamination by itself? Lamination by itself would be between $70 to $90 without a tint. Or I usually do $80 with a tint. So once again, it depends on your area. No worries, Gina. Thank you. You'll get the recording, okay? Thank you for staying. So I got a fresh new bowl, squeeze the color gel, and then I have a fresh new brush, okay? Do not intermix because then it's going to affect the results. The color gel is a much thicker consistency than the primer. The primer is a little bit more loose. Okay, we apply it. You can see that's a little bit more on the thicker side. Use your spoolie to softly spread it. Okay. This is going to stay on for 2 minutes. It's half of the 4 minutes. Okay. And making sure all the area that I need colored, stained, I'm getting that. And her tail end of her brows get a little bit less dense. So with the staining, we're able to complete the tail end. Okay, so in a minute, we're going to remove the other side. See, even this, very easy. It's just things you got to remember, like always dry the brows in between each step. Don't forget that. Okay, perfect. So these bowls are done. So we're going to need a different bowl for your primer. That's going to be the activator. That's going to be the last step. Okay, so 2 minutes for the gel. Yes, what are you applying now? So the first step was the primer, 4 minutes to prepare the skin for staining. If you're not going to use the primer, you go directly to the color gel. Color gel is 2 minutes. The color gel is what's actually going to help the color come out when you use the activator, okay? They're all half of each other. 4 minutes primer, 2 minutes color gel, 1 minute activator. I'm going to do a full brow. Yes, I'm going to do a full brow so you guys can see the full effect of the staining because the webinar was all about staining. So we're going to do the full brow effect. Yep. But I do have videos up of the ombre. Okay. The color was called we're doing the chocolate brown. Yep. The recording comes after the webinar is over. It's going to come to you and then we're going to put it on our website. So you will not lose it. Yeah. Yep, chocolate brown. Thank you, Chelsea. Chrissy, I struggle with using the spoolie to do the ombre. I never get even results. Can I use a tint remover to? You can use a tint remover. Just be very mindful because sometimes what happens, Michelle, when we use the tint remover to soften the beginning, it removes the color from the skin a little too much. And then the brow becomes almost block look. Like it's too light at the beginning, like way too light. And it's dark the rest of the brow and it doesn't look uniformed. So I would suggest don't use a cotton round, but use a cotton spool, like use this, a bud instead to soften it instead of a cotton round because then you have a less density where you wet it and you can soften it lightly. Yeah. Okay, Michelle. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let me remove this. 1 minute's up. The 2 minutes is up. Sorry. It's quick for the color gel. And then after I remove this, what am I going to do? What is that important step before I do the activator? Before the activator, what am I going to do? There's actually 2 steps before the activator. What I'm going to do? Yeah, we're going to dry it. We're going to dry it. And then I'm going to reconnect the brow mapping. Because you can see that the brow mapping is a little bit getting faded. Perfect. You guys were listening. Okay, so let me dry. Let me get my spoolie. I love these spoolies. Okay, so let's remove this one. Let's dry. Dry. Wait 20 seconds for the other brow. Okay, what I can do while I'm waiting for the other brow, yeah, dry and remap. Good job. Let me just find my brow mapping pencil. There we go. Oh, so you always laminate first, then tint. If you were to tint first, then laminate, you break down everything from the skin, from the chemical process of the lamination. So always laminate first, same with lash lift. Lash lift first, then tint at the end. So you don't break down that coloring. Okay, I am going to connect again. And because I already had, the brow's already brow map, it's easier just to reconnect it. Okay, simple like that. If you're tinting it out, yeah, okay, I answered all your questions. Perfect. Is there an issue if you leave the product on too long? Not necessarily, no. It's just for the first 2 steps, it's just a waste. You don't need to. But the final step, the activator, it stops activating at 1 minute. It's not progressive. It doesn't keep going. So basically, you don't want to, if you can save time for a customer that wants to come in and out, great. Use it straight to the times, because then your customer can be in and out, and then you can, market this as a quick service. Okay. Okay, so my Q-tips are nice and dry. No more of the color gel. Rebrow map. After a rebrow map, what is the final step that we're doing? Let me know. You guys are teaching me now. Activate. Thank you, Maura. Okay, so I've got the brow mapping all done. I'm going to take a different bowl. Okay, now I grab a different bowl, a third bowl, and I grab my activator. Now, let me show you something. You can see how easily, I don't have to read the tubes anymore because of the coloring, how they did it. So the white bottle is the activator. The primer, sorry. The white bottle is the primer. If you have, I don't have the dark one. Oh, light one here. How do you tell which one's medium? My eyes are getting bad as I get older. The writing on the RefectoCil is lighter. The writing on the RefectoCil is darker. That's the strong primer. That's the medium primer. So I can just pick it up easily without reading. Then your browns, your colors of your browns change from lighter to darker, the tube. And then your activator is gray. So the coloring system is nice and easy to you to grab it up and not mix and match or spend time trying to read it if you have eye issues. Okay. What's the shelf life? After opening, 6 months. All of them are 6 months after opening. So write the dates on them. I always teach people to write the dates on their tubes when they open them, just so they don't, I'm sure a day or 2 or a week after they've expired, they'll still be okay, but you don't want to risk it, because if the skin staining is not going to last long for that client, they'll be upset. Okay. I have a blue color too. A blue? That's your oxidative tint. Your blue one. Your blue one. Maybe did you go to a show and get the tinting for the lashes? The blue, if it says blue, black, or blue, it's the oxidative. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do the activator. The activator still is a gel. Now the tip that I gave, blue, black, that's your oxidative tint. Okay, don't mix it with this system. It will not work. You cannot mix your oxidative with the intense browns. Some people have done that and they're like, oh, your system is not working. It's defective. No, they're completely 2 different systems. Okay, the blue, black, you have to mix it with your oxidative cream or liquid. So you see the coloring? Why am I struggling right now? Oh my goodness. It is still a gel, okay? Now, don't double dip. What I mean by that, and that's one of the tips that I'm going to share. When you grab the activator and you go and you touch the brow area that had the color gel and the primer, it instantly darkens. If you leave that dark part on your tip of your brush and you go back in here, this activates. And what happens is that it's only active for 1 minute. And what happens is that your next brow will be patchier and lighter than your first brow because it stopped working after a minute. So always clean your brush on your glove or on a tissue. Where is my brush? Like always wipe it here or have a tissue and then go in fresh. We always say keep it fresh. Okay, so let's start working on this brow. I'm going to get Ogana to turn her head this way. And I always like to start from the tail end. Okay, and keep your brush moving. Don't stop. That's another tip that I shared. If you go, stop, and then spread it, you're going to get these bulk of darker spots. And it's going to look like a leopard print. And I always joke around and tell people, if you want to start a new trend of leopard brows, go ahead. But in this training process, I'm not teaching that, okay? So we're going to tilt a little bit again to the side. Okay, I'm going to start applying it, and you'll see instantly it's darkening. Do you guys see that? But I'm keeping my brush moving constantly. Okay, and then what I do is I take my spoolie and I spread it so I can have a nice even staining. Then I clean my brush. I'm going to clean on my glove for now. I'm going to grab fresh and continue. Now, don't go this fast. Obviously, I've been doing this for a while, so I can go faster. Go slower at the beginning. So you see even the chocolate brown, it complements her really good. It's not very dark. You see that, Shanice? Yeah? Okay, good. Yeah, it's very quick though. You see how quick it was? So take your time, start with the tail end, and always clean your brush when you have to go back in. Okay? And the spoolie really helps. Okay, now I'm going to do one brow at a time. I'm going to remove the one brow, and I remove it with just water. A mistake that people have done is that they've taken the tint remover and cleaned the brow with the tint remover, and then they're like, oh, the skin staining didn't last. That's because you used a tint remover, a color remover, and that's only to use if you have to clean unnecessary staining or spots that were much darker. Always use a little bit of water, just a little bit of water on your cotton round, and lightly buff it clean. And look at her tail end. She has a tail end now. Do you guys see that? I only buffed it lightly. Before, her tail end was very light. Okay. Now with Ogana, we could go deep brown. I can go as because the on her, she's got a warm undertone. So on her, the chocolate brown actually shows warmer, but the hairs on her brows are actually cooler. So she would benefit with the deep brown. But regardless, her brows look nice. It processes quick. It's right away as soon as you touch it. Now, this is where I would take my tint remover. And remember, it is a tint remover for intense browns. Okay? Make sure you use that. We have tint remover for oxidative and we have tint remover for intense browns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Q-tip. I'm going to wet it a little bit. And I'm just going to do little spot checks. I see a little bit up on the top of her brow there that it was a little bit, a tint went higher, a little color went higher. That's why your brow mapping helps. If you see it sooner, you can wipe it off right away. Like when you're applying the activator, if you went a little bit high and you stained an area you shouldn't, go clean it right away. So you avoid rubbing more at the end. But that's it. There you go. I cleaned it. Okay. If I have to soften a little bit here. But with a Q-tip, you have more of that control. It's looking good. For redheads, you would unfortunately have to either use the chocolate brown or the ash brown. The ash brown will be cool, but if they want it lighter, the ash brown. But if they want a little bit of warmth, this one, the chocolate brown. Like I said, for the oxidative, we don't have that red, right? It's hard to achieve that with intense browns. Okay, let me do the other side. We don't want to leave Ogana walking around work like that. So we're going to do the other side. I haven't contaminated my activator, so it's still pretty good. I'm going to get you to turn this way. Let's see if I can fit in here. I have to come from this side a little bit. I'm cleaning my glove. And spread with the spoolie. Clean my brush. It's so important so you don't have it patchy. Now with the ombre, what I would have done is I would have grabbed the wet part here. I would never have used my brush at the beginning here, and I would have buffed it, but touch the skin still. So it'd be a little bit more harder. Buff it, so it turns powdery in a sense, right? That's how I would do the ombre. And you need to get a little bit of that skin staining still. I'm just gonna see. Now, if there was some area that didn't grasp the skin staining, like I said, you can go back and repeat it, okay? If you didn't realize it needs to be darker, can you repeat? Yep, you can. You can repeat the process and maybe use a darker color. Like I can go back to her. If she was my customer, I said, you know what, Agana? You would benefit from having the deep brown. I can go back and apply the color gel deep brown and then the activator, and I got it. I achieved it. Yeah. Remember, it's like a little art. It's like painting. You did a little artwork and a little drawing. You're like, this water can look a little darker. Oh, the sky can look a little bit grayer. You can play around with this, okay? Now, another trick, I'm not going to actually do it because I don't want hers to buff, but remember how I said for blonder people, if you wanted to make it lighter looking, during the activator, whatever time you had left, buff it until you start seeing it's drying out and it's looking powdery. That's going to make it look lighter for your blonde clientele, okay? Okay. Now this brow, I have to fix it up a little bit, even it, because I had the cord and the camera in my way. So I had to work from a different angle. So I'm going to have to correct it because the brow is a little thicker on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Q-tip. So as long as you can acknowledge that and fix it for the customer, fix it before they walk out. How do you know when to use the oxidated versus the intense browns? So I use the oxidated because I'm also in Canada, so the oxidative tints are okay. So I use it oxidative as a standard, and I use my intense browns for people who want the skin staining. Also for people who are going on vacation, what I do is I put the oxidative first so it colors the hair. Then I do the intense browns on top of the oxidative. And then when they go on vacation, as it starts to fade away from the skin and the hair because of the oils, the heat, the sun, they have the oxidative tinting at the bottom. So, and also if somebody's allergic to the oxidative, I take them to this. So I always have it with me to reach to more clientele. So I'm just softening the tail end because this was a little bit thicker. And once again, I'm just using a Q-tip with a little bit of tint remover. Now, if you notice, like I said, her beginning of her brow here could be more intense. I would go back, try with the primer first. And if the primer didn't work, I'd have to go back and put the color gel. Okay. And also you shape the brows afterwards. So if we were to shape the brows, clean it all here, it would give more of the arch. But this brow, I know right away at the beginning here, it needs to be more stained. I think it's because I showed on this brow the ombre that I lightened it a little bit. Okay. But I don't think the activator would work now because I cleaned the area. Let me just double check. Let's see. Maybe a little bit. It's because I had showed you guys a little bit how to do the ombre. It didn't stain. Okay, but it's correctable. That's a thing. Once you get the pang of it, it becomes correct. You can correct it instantly. I could correct this because I'm training right now, it's taking longer. But I could correct this in 3 minutes and been done with her brow, her look. So let me wipe that now. And then after we remove this, what do you guys feel? What's the final thing we got to do? What do we have to apply? Because we did prep, we did the solutions, and then we got to do, you can turn straight so they can see your full brow. Yeah, the styling gel, condition, great. Yes, also to Gail. Okay, but one thing I want to show you guys quickly, if you have not seen our makeup line, check out our makeup line because it accommodates the intense browns. I'm going to show you this and then we're going to be done. I know we went over time, but we're going to be done in a minute. I just want to show this, our makeup, our brow pencil. This is great to retell this with an intense brown. So I matched number 3 with her brows. It's number 1, number 2, number 3, light, medium, and dark brown. This is a great retail product for them to take it at home. And after a week, when their brow starts to fade from the skin staining, they could use this because they shouldn't come every week to do the skin staining. They should be, I'll show you, they should be coming every 2 weeks. So if they have to use a brow pencil, they have this. It's got a nice tip to help with the doing strokes. So I'm going to show you quickly what it would look like and get her to turn. Just little strokes just to, but say for example, it's like underneath here, it's starting to fade. She can do this, fill it in. And it's a great holiday, but it's a great way to see. I just made it a little bit darker, filled in a little bit of the underneath here. Do the same thing on this side, fill a little bit the brow here at the beginning. We can make this a little bit more square as well. There we go. And then if you want to put a little bit of highlighter, yeah, the makeup line is my favorite. It's waterproof, smudge proof, and I have brows all the time with me. And then you would put the highlighter. This is a great way to prepare for the holiday season for your customers. There's our highlighter, beautiful product. And I would take a brand new brush, like a little, another angled brush, like from your Barwista toolkit. I'll show you, like the brushes I was using. So take one of this, brush, take a little bit of the, oh my gosh, what am I struggling, highlighter, right? And then give a little bit of a highlight underneath. It's like silk. I'll do the other side. It just illuminates the brows. It just gives it a little bit more of that shine. So, wow, I love the fill-in pen. Her hair is sandy brown, so even when the brows fade, they're still going to be gorgeous. Exactly. So that's what's going to look like. So I'm going to try to see if I can bring it a little bit closer. We did fill it a little bit with the pencil, but she's got, turn this way as well, and then this way as well. Oops. Yeah. Okay, so that's how intense browns is used. That's how the makeup line's used with it. But it's going to be first for you guys to start using intense browns. Flip the camera, how I had it before, the other way. Let me try. Don't get dizzy, guys. Okay, wait till I turn it. Okay, open up your eyes. Yeah, your eyes look drunk. You look drunk. Okay, you can open up your eyes. Just look straight to the camera. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So now the coloring might look a little bit darker now, but it's going to fade. Well, plus we use the pencil to show you guys the pencil, but her hair is pretty dark as well. Okay. How did you guys feel? When would you wax her straights? Right now. You would do any type of removal right now, whether it's threading, because she does have some hair down here that doesn't help to keep it sharp the end. So I would take some tweezers and clean all those hairs underneath that were not colored, they were not stained, because I know those need to come off. So I would do it now. Never do hair removal before. You can create some allergic reaction. She's so relaxed. She is relaxed. I think everybody likes in the office to be a model. Yeah. But how did you guys feel? Easy? Straightforward? Yeah? If you have any questions, if you want to get certified, email me at education@cbongroup.com, and I'm there to help you guys along your journey, even if you have technical questions. I do appreciate your time. We did go overboard with the timing, But I appreciate your time. So the key is to wait, there's somebody who said something. The key is to let the steps dry. Yes, that is part of the key. But watch, thank you guys. Thank you, Chelsea. Watch that webinar on how to perfect your intense browns techniques. Because once you do that, the game is yours. Like it's endless opportunities. And the brow services, we're teaching courses called the Business of Brows. Brow services are very, very, very easy to do. If you want, I'm going to just take my camera. I'm going to let Ogana, let me put the styling gel. I'm going to let Ogana go. If anybody wants to stay on for one more minute, I want to show you guys the aftercare. Let me just put the styling gel on Ogana. That was the aftercare, and you guys got it right. So if I had brow mapped before, perfect. I could have brow mapped and did the intense browns all in one seating. Okay, great. We've got that on there. You're welcome. So let me just flip this around, let Ogana to come off, and I'm going to, okay, thanks, Ogana.
Thank you.
They get their little, it's nice to get a little nap between work. Okay, so what I wanted to showcase is, let me if I look this way. You know what? Let me close the phone and open up this camera. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Daisy. You've been great help. I know people have to go to work and leave, but I want to show something quickly. Let me turn on my camera. Okay, can you guys see me? Okay, I created this. Thanks, Daisy. I created this little pouch that I like to show people. So basically, it's an aftercare pouch. I wanted to show it today. There's a lot I got to show it. It's limited timing. But basically, what's in it, remember, I talked about these visors. These visors, you put them on the forehead. They stick. They wrap around. And lash extensionists use this. But I say for brow services as well, use this because intense browns, we want to try and preserve that skin staining. So when they're washing their face in the shower, they could get cleanser that has soaps and so forth on it. So use this. So I put that in there. Then I put in there a spoolie, a disposable spoolie. I put in there for them. You don't have to go this fancy. You can just get a plain one. I just went a little bit fancier. I put that in there. I also put the eye care pads. I didn't get a chance to show you guys the eye care pads, but usually when I do a brow service, I do this. Thank you, Gail. Thank you for your support. I put the eye care pads, and you should put those on your client too to elevate your brow services and add value. And you can charge a little like $5 more, make it a deluxe service, okay? Because then you can massage at the end with the protection cream and turn that whole brow service into a deluxe service. And then what else I put here, which you can download these on the website. They won't be as fancy as these. These ones I went and I got them all fancy done, but it's the same images. It's your aftercare protocol cards for intense browns. We call the service Brow Intensify. So that's what you would call on your webinar. Thank you, Terry. Thank you for coming on. Thank you, Iris. It says all the steps, but remember the ones that say 24 hours for the skin staining, prolong them to a week so they can get that nice skin staining. Okay. So that's what I put into this. And then I charge all my first customers the styling gel that goes in there. Here's your aftercare home, aftercare home product, and they are ready set for home. And this lasts for as long as I use it every day, could last, up to 3 months. Okay, so that's all I want to show you guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget the contest. You guys can get this. We're going to have 2 lucky winners. So you get to have this in your hands to try it out. It's a great kit to get started. And any questions, please reach out. Check our website as well. And I hope to see you guys again in our next webinar. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Monique. Satin, thank you. Oh, I appreciate it. Did you finish? Good. Head start on the contest. Oh, I didn't mention the contest ends. It ends, I'm going to let it run until the end of September. So I'm going to let it run until September 30th. Okay. Perfect. Hi, Janet. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, guys, I'm going to let you guys go grab lunch or continue with your customers. I kept you long enough. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay. Thank you so much. Oh, Iris. No, that's Monique. And from Barbados here, the contest. If you have your phone ready, can you take a screenshot? Give me 1 second. There we go. That's the contest, okay? So that you get more points if you post something on your stories, if you post something in your feed, and when you tag people in the comments of our posts, and when you say what you liked about the webinar, all these actions earn you more chances of winning. Okay, guys, thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your time as usual. Let's build this beautiful community. I love you guys. It's amazing to be able to teach such wonderful people. I love our industry. So enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck with Intense Brands. I'm always here to help.